Hi, welcome to Lisa Albanowski's Business Corner. I have with me today Antoinette Lanteri, who is a fabulous attorney, and I will let Antoinette introduce herself and describe her business a little bit for us. Hello, Antoinette. How are you today?
I'm great. Hi, Lisa. Thank you so much for having me. I am an attorney. I've been in practice for 30 years, and my main practice is right now is elder law and real estate. I do a lot of various things. So when people come to me, if I can take it on, I do. And if I can't, I typically find them an attorney that suits their needs. I am a litigator at heart. I practiced in the DA's office back in the 90s. And I love to litigate, so I will take on those kinds of cases as well. But my main practice has been elder law and real estate, and that's primarily what we focus on now.
And what made you choose this profession?
So when I was really young, I had younger siblings, and I spoke for them, and I stuck up for them, and everybody said, you should be a lawyer. I was like, what's a lawyer? And that kind of planted the seed. And here I am 100 years later as an attorney. But I kind of knew when I was young that I wanted to be an attorney. So here I am.
So that's how you got started, basically from a thought about your wanting to be this as a young child. But how did you really get started in the business?
That's a really good question. So I did in college, I majored in communications. And towards the end of my 4-year degree, I considered not being an attorney and going into the field of communications because I found it so interesting and there were so many outlets for it. But then I chose law school. I came out of law school and went into the DA's office, which was a wonderful thing because I had trial experience at a very young age. I was in my late 20s trying cases in front of Supreme Court judges in Brooklyn. I gained so much experience, and that's where I really developed a love for being a lawyer. I left the DA's office because it was really like my life, and I wanted to have a life outside of the DA's office. So I learned real estate because I really like real estate, and I did both. I did real estate and criminal. But then I got married and had kids. And I stuck more with the real estate while my kids were young. Real estate has really been what I've focused on since leaving the DA's office up until now. And other areas of law I became interested in, found that they were lucrative as well. So started to learn about those and become more proficient at those. Did I answer your question?
You did. You know how you got started, and you keep mentioning the DA's office. So where are you originally from, and what DA's office was that?
I am originally from Brooklyn, and then my family moved to Queens, and then I went back to Brooklyn when I started in the DA's office. It was the Brooklyn DA's office, and you had to live within the 5 boroughs, which I did, but I liked being close to my office. It was a wonderful experience. I met so many amazing people. And I guess I mention it because that was how I started. And those are my best memories as an attorney.
So now you practice primarily on Long Island, but do you split your time? Like, tell me about where you serve the public and how do you do your work? Is it in the office? Do people meet with you on Zoom? Tell me what's going on with your business in the sense of that kind of aspect. Where do you serve people? Where your clients come from?
So I didn't even know Zoom existed until COVID happened. I do have clients now, that we do virtual. I like person to person. I've always liked that better. Even during COVID, and now that we have a choice, I'd much rather be in person. So I have friends who have an office in Manhattan and Brooklyn, and they let me use their office when I meet those clients. But most of my clients are from Suffolk County, and most of them come to my office for consultations. And if we have to sign documents like wills, advance directives, trusts, we typically sign them in my office so I can notarize them, feed them into my computer, and give them originals, hard copies, and electronic copies. However, because I deal with clients who sometimes are elderly and not as mobile, I will go to their house, and it could be in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Long Island, any part of Long Island, out in Suffolk County, way out east. And I will go to their house. I will get the information that I need. I will draft my documents and go back and make sure that they have witnesses that are disinterested parties so we can sign all the documents properly. Then I leave with the originals. I come back to my office, feed them into my computer, gather the originals. Wills have to be appended properly and put in, you can only have one original will. The other documents, I keep together originals, sometimes more than one original, and I get the originals and the copies back to the client, either FedEx or I drop them off or someone picks them up, and I send electronic copies via email.
So all of the above is the answer.
All of the above. I told you only about my elder law. But with real estate, I mean, Lisa, you're a phenomenal real estate agent and you know the deal. So I get the contracts. I go over the contracts with my client. I like to do that in person. Lots of times it's via phone call because I can email it to them and discuss it, and they can sign now with DocuSign. So we don't necessarily have to get together, but I do like to meet my clients. And then for the closing, I go to wherever the closing is taking place, usually the lender's attorney's office. Sometimes we have closings at my office or others, attorneys. And I sit with my clients at the closing, and they either buy a house, sell a house, condo, co-op, but that's in person at least once during our time together as client and attorney.
So, of course, I know you're from the real estate side of things. Most of my clients say that you make it so easy for them. You work nights, you work weekends, you're amazing. And that's one of the things that really impresses me about how you do your business, Antoinette. You are not a 9-to-5er. And, you're not making someone take time off from work to come and work with you as their attorney and represent them. So I appreciate that because I know my clients are so appreciative. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Lisa.
It's
Thank
the
you
truth.
for saying that. Listen, I'm a worker bee. I work, it's like, and the beauty of being in your own business and, sometimes dealing with clients who don't have the typical 9-to-5 is if I want to take a Wednesday off and have lunch with someone and work on Saturday, I can do that as well. Sometimes I work 10 days in a row and sometimes I have some free time and use it. But, I like to work. I enjoy my clients, and it's nice to be appreciated for it. So thank you.
And they do. And so can you tell me something that maybe the general public wouldn't know about your business?
So I don't have a niche because what I do, there are lots of lawyers who do what I do, the real estate and the elder law and the litigation as well. I guess what you said was that, I do have an assistant now, but I'm very hands-on with my clients. You're not going to only work with a paralegal or an assistant and get to meet me at the end game, when you're going to sign documents or at a closing. You're going to work with me throughout. I give out my cell phone number a lot, especially when I think it's going to move the deal forward. Most people don't take advantage of it, so I don't have a problem doing it. I don't know if that sets me apart from anyone, but I do like to get to know my clients, and I do like to have more than an attorney client relationship. I like it to develop into a friendship, and many times it does.
So I think that's exactly, why my clients that I've referred to you really appreciate you. And I think that does set you apart. And that's something that people don't know about a typical attorney, that you're one that will give out a cell phone, right? So that's really important. And you work with them. It's not like a paralegal is doing all the work, like you said. And at the end of the day, when they're ready to sign the documents for whatever purpose, whether it's estate, whether it's wills, you're working with them through the whole preparation.
Yes.
And I think that is very, very important. And it's commendable because a lot of attorneys, just take that personalization out of it because they are so busy. And I do have respect for paralegals, don't get me wrong, but that's one of the things that really sets you apart.
Thank you.
What do you think your customers love most about you? Do you think it's that?
I do. And I am real, there's no airs. I don't believe in that. Just be who you are. And I have clients that have to tell me some really, to them, uncomfortable things or embarrassing. And I always tell them, you have to tell me about you, but I don't have to tell you about me. We all have stuff, and I think that sets people, puts them at ease, because nobody's life is perfect. And I always want to be relatable to my clients, no matter where they fall on the spectrum of life.
I think you've wrapped it up in the sense of who you are, very transparent, and you really care about people and serving them. It's not just about that you're the professional and they're the client. You make them feel at ease as an equal.
Yes, we're all equal. I believe that.
Well, I do
Thanks,
too,
Lisa.
but
Yep.
in the sense of professionals versus the public, clients sometimes get intimidated with an Esquire after your name, right? And, you make them feel very comfortable. You're a human being and you relate to them on a very equal level. And that's why I love what you do and who you are, and appreciate the work that you do in Antoinette. I really do.
Thank you.
So how do people reach you?
So it's funny because when I was working during raising my children, I really let my practice go. So when I turned 50, I went out and worked for firms, and I learned a lot. I learned so much, but I was itching to get back out on my own again. Here I am, and it's been quite a few years, but I put out on social media that I started my own practice, and I really got a tremendous following from that. It was shocking to me. I still get clients from Facebook and Instagram, mostly Facebook though, not really LinkedIn, because that's always business. Like Facebook, it shocks me how many messages I get to hire me as an attorney. No questions asked. That and my website, for whatever reason, when people Google me, I come up as a Holbrook attorney, like one of the top, not better, but my name pops up as the elder law attorney. And then on there, on my website, when it pops up, states that I do real estate as well. So I get a lot of business from Google, and I don't pay for it. I pay the regular standard fee, but I don't pay to have my name pushed up. So I guess in that respect, I'm lucky. And
Organic.
The rest is word. Yeah. Well, yeah, and then the rest is word of mouth. I have a lot of repeat customers, a lot of people clients, I should say, not customers. A lot of people refer me to, their family members, and, people reach me by phone, mostly, but through social media as well.
So if somebody wanted to contact you, can you tell us what the phone number is and maybe what your website address is?
Sure. My phone number is 631-972-4600. My email is al@lanterilegal.com. So that's al@lanterilegal.com. And my Facebook is Annette DeCola Lanteri. And those are the three main ways that people get in touch with me. I do have a website, and it's www.lanterilegal.com. I also have a page on there where people can reach out to me. However, I got a lot of spam through there. Out of 100 emails I get from my website, maybe 3 are legit. So most people reach me through phone, email, or social media.
So on your website, there's a contact spot where somebody could go in and ask to be called back.
Yes,
That's
there's
great.
yes.
Right. And on your website, I saw that there are a lot of areas of practice that you do service, and people can look that up easily. Like you said, your main focus is the real estate, which I know for sure, and your elder law. You know, some of the elderly clients that I've worked with might have their documents in place, but I love to refer you as a real estate attorney to them because you know what those documents are and you know how to read them and you know what's in order. In fact, we had a client together that I felt so wonderful. You know, they were so concerned that you didn't know much about the elder law side of things because that's where the house was, right, in that trust.
In the trust.
So having a house in a trust is a whole different topic. And maybe there's another time that we can have an interview about components of what really estate law is about and elder law is about, because there's so many things that can make your head spin.
And lots of times the elder law and the real estate do go hand in hand, because when you're selling out of a trust or buying, a trust is buying a property, there are certain logistics that are needed to be done properly, or you don't get the outcome that you want. And it could hurt you down the road, especially there are, and again, topic for another day, but when there's look back periods and you can break the look back period, which could really put somebody in a bad spot financially. So I do know both ends of that. And I do like both ends of that.
Yeah.
So
and that's why I feel so happy to have you as one of my referral partners, because, you know, a lot of the documents are in trusts and I'm dealing with a lot of seniors, as you know, and the seniors have different things than a person who is selling a house for the first time, who might be moving up with a young family.
absolutely.
So
And Lisa, I love working with you because you're on it. You know, like when there's a real estate transaction, it's so important that all the moving parts work together. And when you are the agent representing either the seller or the buyer, I feel great about the deal because I know that we work so well together. You're so easy to work with and you're so efficient and you know your stuff. You're very effective when it comes to making the deal move forward, doing the right thing by your client.
thank you. And I appreciate that. You know, sometimes people think that real estate is such an easy thing. You show a pretty house and you sell it, right?
Not at
But
all.
all of these moving parts are behind the scenes things that people don't know. And having the right team of professionals in a transaction is really a make or break it sometimes on how the outcome plays out. I mean, you can have an outcome that happens, but you're going to have an outcome that really happens because everyone is on point and it's not just by accident that we got to the closing table.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Antoinette. I really appreciate it. I know sometimes people call you Annette because your Facebook and Instagram is Annette Lanteri. So either way, Antoinette, Annette, just don't call you late for dinner, as we said.
Exactly.
Works either way. Well, it really was a pleasure to have you come on to my business info corner. And I'm Lisa Albanowski. I'm a real estate associate broker. I'm with Signature Premier Properties, and I work throughout Long Island. Please don't hesitate to call me. And if you need some work with an attorney, whether it's elder law, whether it's real estate and other capacities, check out Antoinette's website and you can see the other areas of expertise that she does have. It's been a pleasure, my dear. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Lisa. You as well. Thank you so much.